just watch her on the drive tonight. She's got a great driving game.
Now we'll take a look at tonight's key player matchup, which is Emma Sykes from the Southern Storm, who you briefly made mention of just before, and Lisa Maimai from the brothers team. What do you see in these two players, and what will they bring tonight?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. They're both multi-sport athletes. So Emma Sykes has experience with the Australian Rugby Sevens, and Lisa Maimai is involved with the Queensland Firebirds in netball. But the key for both of these players is that they can both, I mentioned earlier, they can both throw long. So that's a really good weapon to have because with the threat of that long ball, you can fake it and you can just cut through the line. It really spaces out those defenders and gives you plenty of options in attack.
Yeah, so it's an important fixture between these two teams. Like we said, second and third on the table on the ladder at the moment. It's an important win just to see who bumps up potentially, locks in that second position, and starts to look to put a little bit more pressure on the Rebels. Like we said, they're undefeated on the top of the table as it is at the moment. If you're looking purely at the ladder, you'd be thinking, geez, their streak's ahead of everybody else. But they've really been pushed, the Rebels. They've had to really fight to get their victory so far this season.
Yeah, that margin, that gap is starting to close. And we've mentioned it before, Scotty, that in this Premier Division, there's no really bad teams. Every team is really good, full of really good players who can get a win on any given night. So I'm looking forward to a tight contest.
Following this fixture tonight would be the men's Premier action. It's a Southern Storm double tonight in round 5. They'll be taking on the Gold Coast. So looking forward to that clash. It's always usually a little bit of fireworks when those two teams come up against each other. Players that are very familiar with each other usually play together at a regional level. When they come back to clubland, they separate, and usually fireworks.
Yeah, always. And it's a really good thing to see as well. You know, they, as you said, they play often with each other at state and national level. When we get back to the club, no love lost, as you say.
So the Southern Storm will kickstart tonight's match in the purple strip, taking on Brothers in the Butchers stripes. Shout out to Brothers as well, who they're affiliated with the rugby club. They won the men's Premier competition over the weekend. So they're on a high at the moment, and the women's touch football team will be looking to continue on in tonight's round 5 fixture. Storm now looking to attack the line. They come out and it was looking to link up with Taylor Sykes out on the left-hand side. Not a bad little option to go away from the middle of the field and try to catch them napping on the short side. Yeah,
good early signs there, looking for that sweeper play. Didn't quite come off now as the Brothers drive into their box.
Good defence in the middle of the field there from the Storm. As Brothers now look to reset. And coming up out of the line, Susie puts the ball through the hands. Walker will finish it off out in the corner. So a good defensive start for Southern Storm as well, starting their set here on their 10-metre line. This is a good defensive response, though, from Brothers. First 2 touches and a sloppy play the ball. So, yeah, it's just going to go off the back. First 2 touches, they struggled to get 10 metres going forward. Good defensive pressure from Brothers forces the mistake.
Execution is going to be key here for both of these teams. Set completion is a really big thing in touch. Ooh, strong contact there. Kim Susi goes down.
Schmidt plays it just shy of the 7. Hegedus picks up and goes. Nice ball on the out and just dipping away out in front of the hands of the left wing here for Brothers. Jordan Randall will signal a touch and pass penalty. So the Storm tap on their 7-metre line. Tanami off the restart. Captain Jenna Rousel just playing the ball a little bit away from her supporting acting half.
Yeah, just a little bit slow off the mark. Need to get over that advantage line. Felicity Archer will get him going forward here on the last.
Sends a rocket ball out in front. Charlotte Vandermeer. Another touch and pass penalty. Both teams just sort of working their way into the game in the early stages here at the first half. Brothers looking for a cleaner set this time around.
Just winning that midfield battle is going to be key as well. Just controlling that middle. So we're going to get into a little bit of a grindy couple of sets here, I think.
Hudson skips across field and steps in. She'll work with Chitali Mooney Stack together. They've got a pretty good combination in the midfield for Brothers. Nice ball and a beautiful hole. Ray Barker.
Wow.
Sets up the first try, or finishes it off, but it was a lovely ball. A great team try there for Brothers to open up the scoring.
Really nice, well work put together by the Brothers girls here. Picks up from half, just a quick survey. It goes long, chops straight into that link hole, Ray Barker. And she won't miss too many of those. Lovely pair of hands.
I think it was Brittany Brown who threw the final pass to open up the scoring here for Brothers. And she's been fantastic so far in the early stages of the competition. There's Brittany Brown out in front. Annika Tanami there couldn't pull that one in. It's a little bit jittery to start this game. The Storm so far. There's still plenty of football to come here in the first half. It's Hudson gets Brothers towards the halfway line. They're right up in the face this set. Good recovery though from Bartlett, as now Lisa Maimai gets her first touch, looping ball out to the right-hand side. They turn it back on the inside. And they recovered well on the back end of the set, but it was good defensive pressure in the early first couple of touches there from the Storm.
Yeah, better ruck defence in that set from the Storm. They really got up and pressured the Brothers' attack. They're going to want to hang on to this one. They've had 3 drop balls their last 3 attacking sets, so they want to get a nice completion here.
And Neville plays it again, just 2 players there almost coming in to try and pick up the ball from half. Charlie Nicola and Jenna Rousel. Some miscommunication coming into the last touch of their set. This Folk goes over the halfway line. Schmidt having to reach for it. Does a good job to get the ball out the back to Susie, who picks it up last touch. Comes out to the right-hand side. Heggers tries to get on the outside of Archer. And he comes up to make the touch.
Yeah, once again, Kim Susi setting up the platform there. They've just looked a little bit more dangerous in these opening passages, the Brothers team.
And Rousel throws
a again.
Yeah, a rush pass out to Emily Coyne. So a little bit rattled. Again, they're just reacting to the pressure the Brothers are putting on them. Feeling like they're having to throw that extra pass to try to get themselves out of trouble.
That'll help their cause. Referee Jordan Randall not moving forward penalty.
So Hudson and Mooney Stack make their way back out onto the park for Brothers. As Brown takes them on herself. She'll come back out to the 7-metre line.
Brown's been very active in this first 5 minutes, looking very likely with the ball in hand.
And here she is yet again, back on the inside. Hudson, they go short side. They're offside here at the moment. Still play on. They have to get a penalty. No, must have just made it back in time.
That was really good listening there from Felicity Archer. Just held off her play until that touch was made. She was just made it onside, just in front of the line.
Mooney Stack pops out Ray Barker. Ray Barker almost gets on the outside again. The start to this match she's had opening the scoring for Brothers just a few sets ago. Brown directing traffic, but it was the last touch. So let's see how the Storm react this time around. That's a nice little extra ball. The Coyne picks up huge meters down the right-hand side. This is the exact start to their set that they need.
Yeah, that's a lovely run there from Coyne, and that's going to give them the platform now to go forward.
As Sykes takes them on herself, a huge touch, diving effort from Chitali to get across. They were full of running. Continuing on where Coyne started their set. It's got them in a pretty good attacking position here. As Coyne has to put the brakes on. Goes back to Chloe Nicola, sends it across into the middle of the field. Emma Sykes and Taylor and the sisters working together in the middle, and Taylor slices through. And they respond, and it just purely comes down to how they started that set and the easy meters they got with Emily Coyne down the sideline.
Yeah, off the back of that drive, and we're going to see now some absolutely lovely footwork coming out of half here from Sykes as she picks up and links up with her player. That's going to give them a real boost of confidence at Storm.
Those scores locked up. 1 try piece here in round 5 fixture. Women's Premier Division here at the Metro Cup. Lisa Maimai taps to restart. One touch has been claimed. They'll come back. Taylor Sykes making the touch.
It's funny how scoring can just settle the nerves as well too. I think they'll take a great deal of confidence out of that and look for their completion rate to rise.
Maimai on the sweep. Goes early ball. Might be an opportunity to go back on the inside to Fildes. They hold on to the football. Still one to come. As Maimai switches. Fildes around the back. A good recovery in defence. Emma Sykes comes up there even though the ball was spilled over. She was there to make the touch if needed.
A really nice long ball there from Maimai, but it was covered. I think we'll see a couple more of those before this game's done.
Leighton Amu gets them going forward. Hanneke now. His sister does the same job. Collard tries to thread it through off the hands there of Bartlett, but not played at.
Yeah, looking for 6 more there, Charlie Nicola. Referee's determined that ball was just thrown into the defender.
Foltz does a good job. And pick up extra meters. Getting away from the diving touch there. Vanika Tanamu, Stevens. Susi gets good contact. Again, just taking a couple of steps. Nicola's up there to make the touch.
Late pass.
And so Brett Freshwater signals the touch and pass. We go away from the substitution box, and all 6 players still holding on the field. As Lay sends it right out to Emily Coyne. Now make changes, but they've got to hold the football up here as the replacement players just get themselves onto the field, and you see a mistake. And how often do you see that now where there's just a breakdown around that interchange area? The very next play, it's really hard to recover and get yourself out of trouble. And you can see now Walker down the sideline has some room to move.
Yeah, so often you'll see that defensive pressure force that mistake around that interchange set. And they're probably going to take full advantage here, brothers, as they've got a handful of touches up their sleeve heading into their line.
Barker links up with Hudson, who he's stack in the middle of the field. They just take their time now to set up. Barker using the football, dishes from half. Hudson takes him on herself, tries to thread it right through the line. And took it right to the defensive line. They make the touch. Storm hold on.
Let's see how they shape up with this drive set.
Nice little kick away from Chloe Nicola. Has to hold up as the half gets in place. Taylor Sykes will be looking to set up towards the back end of the set. A little bit flat-footed in the middle of the field. Annika Tanamu gets them going forward now. Last touch, players offside, play on. They will play the penalty. Another good call. Referees haven't missed a trick tonight.
Yeah, that was pretty clever. Normally you'd play on there, but she just held her up off that line. Determined to be enough obstruction for 6 more on the line.
So full set of 6 to work with from the Storm. After weathering the Storm themselves early in this match, it's now the ladies in purple who are starting to turn the tide. Can they take the lead for the first time in the match, attacking the line? Tsunami come back to the 7-metre line. Looks a little bit ginger after that attacking dive on the try line. Annika switches it in. And the lay is making her way off the field. Sykes throws a ball out the back, and they created the 2-on-1, even though they were making a replacement at the same time. Yeah, a little chance there for the right-hand side as we have a look at the replay. You can see the numbers opening up for them. That ball just dipping away. Looked like the cover defence was coming across to make the touch. Positive signs for the Storm. They're really starting to work themselves back into this game. Bartlett feeds it off. Lisa Maimon, space out on the left, comes off the left foot, and then thread it through. Again, Storm, not a bad position for them to start their set. It's a real defensive battle, though, isn't it, between these two teams? It just seems as soon as either attacking players got the ball in the hands, defense is right up there to make the touch.
Yeah, it's very grindy.
And
it's just going to be a ball
spill
down.
Out. Yeah.
Yeah, players protesting. I think that's a pretty good call from referee Brett Freshwater. No control going into that touch. Brothers on the move now.
Yeah, positive football. Brothers, and as soon as they got the call, they're straight back onto the football. Working their way downfield. Oh, ball out the back. Schmidt did a good job to hold on to it. Susie, who hasn't had many opportunities so far, links up with Catherine Stevens.
Yeah, she was getting ready to pick up from half there, Susie. That should be a ball down. Yeah, another good call.
And picked up. Good field position here for Brothers. The score still locked up at 1 try apiece. Good opportunity for Brothers. Can they push back out in front? Oh, it was there for them.
Yeah, they had offside players too there, short of the line. Missed opportunity, unfortunately, for Brothers. Although referees picked up a touch and pass, possibly forward.
So the Storm midfielder just punched down there right-hand sideline. As Emma Sykes plays it, she'll take a breather. Emily Ward angles in off the left foot. Taylor Sykes, beautiful ball. Tanami loops it over the top. Bit of work to do down the right-hand side. Good cover defence from Susie to come across and make the touch on Natasha Day. But again, positive football, and they're seeing a little bit of value down this right-hand side of the field in particular.
Yeah, that's more like it from the Storm. Great hands there from Sykes. Really asking questions of the brothers' defence. I think they've identified this side, as you say. As the referee's picked up.
Yeah, I think it's an offside call against Taylor Sykes. And she's arguing the point that she didn't touch her, but still effective in the play.
Yeah, first infringement applies there, occupying that space. So that's a handy little penalty now for brothers as they move to their interchange box and get some fresh legs on the field.
Great first 3 touches here for brothers. They've got to continue on that flow. Hudson, Mooney Stack, and someone needs to get the ball down on the green stuff here. They do. Again, just pulling things up. Looking to get a clean play. The ball outside the 7. They do. Hudson skips across. Again, short ball. Brown feeding it through. And we'll get a repeat set.
Yeah, they're tough calls. Some of those 50-50 calls. Players determined to be up in that passing lane. Hands out, shutting down that pass. 6 more now for brothers.
Oh, picked off here off the intercept.
Lovely hands from Natasha Day there with the intercept.
And Brittany Brown just coming against the grain and trying to thread it out the back. The Storm hold on. Nicola gets him moving forward. And it's Charlie in the 4. Get herself into the acting half position. Has a look up. They've got their numbers on the left-hand side of the field. Zanika Tinamu plays it. 5th and final touch. Tinamu takes him on herself.
Wow.
And they just got caught in the line there, brothers. Flat-footed and great awareness from Annika Tinamu to get the second try for the Storm.
That's a much better attacking set from the Storm. They just held them up, froze the defence. They just rolled back into their line. Lovely hands. Gee, that space just opened right up. Turning into a really good contest now.
And Storm in front for the first time, 2-1. Second versus third in the Women's Premier competition on the ladder currently. Storm looking for their second win of the season. Looping ball out the back, Bella Files takes him on, just gets it away to Walker, last touch. Again, they're attacking down the short side, no space on the last touch. Leaves them with not too many options coming into the 6th. And Southern Storm, definitely momentum with them at the moment. Now just having to hold the ball up, Vandermeer, so they can't really punch forward. Nicola does a good job. Now to steady the ship. Rousel out the left, beautiful ball, nice skipping away. And they come back and make the touch. It might be coined down on the left-hand side of the field.
Much smoother in their transitions now, the Storm. They've really got that attacking flow sorted out. Lovely footwork from Charlie Nicola.
And it's taking a little deflection along the way as well. Repeat set signalled by Jordan Randall. More pressure coming for brothers as Sykes takes him on herself. Shows the little dummy. Attacks on the line. And they're starting to look pretty good now, the Southern Storm. 3 tries on the trot.
One of the simplest attacking moves in touch, the punish here. Bounce and split out and then head to that line to get the defenders offside. No touch claim, that ball's down first. Referee points to the spot.
Just so elusive in the 7-metre zone, and it looked like they were there to make the touch. Bartlett might have even just been a foot short of the line. And Taylor Sykes, she is absolutely turning it on tonight for the Southern Storm. Scored a try. She's had a hand in setting one up as well. Now, Schmidt, they get the penalty for offside. Full set of 6. Just over 2 minutes left to go here in the first half. Brothers, they need points. We'll be looking to take a little bit of momentum. Almost looked like there was a little bobble there in the half, and there was. Lavery picks that one up.
Yeah, with just under 2 minutes to go in this half, they've really sorted themselves out in attack after a pretty shaky start, the Storm. looking very smooth through their transitions now.
Again, Vandermeer just having to hold it up for a brief second. And just, you can see Emma Sykes trying to get on the outside of the defender to try to pick extra yards. Had to go back to the mark. Now Sykes sends a beautiful ball out to the left-hand side, punching through the hole. Little show and go. Thank you very much, Felicity Archer. Well, she had some work to do. Firstly, to take the ball, and then to finish this one off, slicing in between two brothers defenders. Great try.
Absolutely nothing on there. Felicity Archer just slips through the smallest of holes, the gaps. See, they've got all the momentum going into the second half now, the Storm.
Yeah, and for brothers, at halftime probably can't come soon enough for them. I'm sure Coach Chris Ross will be looking forward to getting his troops over in the huddle and just steady things down. They know they've got football in them, particularly the way they started in the first 5 minutes. It was all brothers to start with. They opened the scoring, and their defence was really strong as well. As soon as, and you mentioned it, Doug, as soon as the Storm got that first try, it just calmed their nerves completely, didn't it? And they just started to find their rhythm.
Nice long ball there from Brittany Brown. She needs to get a bit more involved in the second half. She's looked one of their best players for brothers. Really dangerous in attack.
They're having to make their changes a little bit deeper downfield, but Tanamu just picks up about 10 or 15 metres off the back end of it, and brothers completely on the back foot here. Sykes, dangerous position for her to get up, picks up, goes long, beautiful ball. The link might have been on. Back to Archer. And sends a beautiful ball out to the left-hand side. They've still finished their set. If you can't score points, that's where you want to finish it off, and they managed to find the halftime hooter at the same time. Great first 20 minutes after finding their groove after about 5 or so minutes there from the opening whistle of this game. The Storm right on top in this one.
Yeah, they found their groove, as you say, Scott, and it was just non-stop attacking raids in that last 5 minutes for the Storm. Both teams will have a break now, and we'll come back for the second half shortly.
Yeah, a bit of work for brothers to do to get themselves back into this game. They're currently down by 3. Halftime score here in round 5 of the Metro Cup Women's Premier Division. Southern Storm 4 over Brothers 1.
This grass looks smart, and it's tough enough to handle whatever you throw at it, so it stays looking smart. Tiff Tough Hybrid Bermuda, the smart grass.
Welcome back to Whites Hill. Half-time here in the Women's Premier Division. And Southern Storm currently leading 4-1 over Brothers. And the match following this one, we have the Southern Storm heading the field yet again. They'll be taking on Gold Coast. That'll come up on your screens as soon as the conclusion of the Women's Premier Action game. But, yeah, big effort needed here in the second half here, isn't it, Doug? They started well, Brothers, like we said, going into the halftime break. And when they know in all the fixtures that they've had so far in the early stages of Metro Cup, they've been in games. This is probably the first one that they've actually had the first half go away from them. But we know that they'll fight the whole way to the final whistle.
They've got the firepower, don't they? They've got the Australian Women's Open captain in Kim Soo Si. She'll definitely step up in this second half and call upon her experienced players like Lisa Mai, Files and Brittany Brown, who looked pretty dangerous in that first half. It's going to be a bit of a climb back from 4-1, but I'm sure they can do it.
And the best way to stay up to date with all the Metro Cup competition information and action is on the Brisbane Metro Facebook, Instagram and TikTok pages. And you can find these by searching Brisbane Metro Touch. I hope you're enjoying the coverage of the Metro Cup competition this year. You get all matches live and free each Friday night, including finals. And like we said, we're at the halfway point of the competition. You'll see all those matches live on KO Sports here in Australia and Sky Sports Next in New Zealand. Kia ora through our Kiwi friends tuning in. All the touch heads around the world, doesn't matter where you are. They love watching footy, particularly on a Friday night. Roosters South, who cares? Everyone will be tuning in to watching the Southern Storm take on the Gold Coast, no doubt, at the conclusion of this game as well.
Well, where else would you rather be on a Friday night? Beautiful weather, nice conditions here in Brisbane, watching some of the best touch players in the country run around.
Yeah, like you said, winter officially done. It's still currently 18 degrees here in Brisbane, coming on 7:45 local time. Almost in shirt and shorts weather. Perfect conditions for footy tonight for these two teams. You won't have to really contest with the dew anymore as well. So nice, short, dry, fast track as per usual here at Whites Hill.
Let's see what Brothers have got for us in this second half. They want to hit back nice and early with the first try.
Yeah, they'll no doubt show plenty of intent right from the tap-off. Here's Hannah Hegger as he gets us underway. Working with Paige Folk in the middle of the field. No half there in place. Walker just having to get on the skates to get across. Mai supporting. Folk gets caught from half. Probably not the way that they were hoping to start the second half, and it was just a little miscommunication right from the start, and it just flowed on for their set.
Just looking for that inside ball, the little ninja play as they call it, but a really good defensive read from the defenders in the Storm, and they're clicking in all gears.
Nice little pop-out ball as Nicola sends it through the hands. Happy to throw the football around. This is the last touch. Lost the touch count there. And get up and make the touch. Oh, is this going to be a penalty late in the count? Those ones really hurt.
I'm waiting for the signal.
I thought I heard a call of play on for an offside. So particularly when it was almost like a dead play for them. Storm had to go back to the mark and reset. It just must have just been one step in front of where the referee needed them to be.
That's tough because there was nothing doing an attack there for the Storm.
Nice touch from Folk. We'll come back to the 7 metre to play it here, the Southern Storm. Tanamu switches in, scored a try in the first half. With the fingertips there of Charlie Nicola. So luckily for Brothers, they managed to hold on. The Storm couldn't take advantage of that gift that was presented to them as Susi has to come back to the mark. So again, it's still a little bit clunky to start the second half. As Barker gets him just shy of the halfway line. He's stacked, turns it back on the inside. Barker did a great job in the first half. She was a real meter eater for the team, getting them going forward. Scored their one and only try as well. It's Hudson, loops the ball over the top, no targets to be able to pull that ball in. So the Storm will restart. Room to work with on the first touch. Rouse puts it through their hands, and did it hit a bit of grass? Yes, it did.
Need their experienced players to step up here, the Storm. Like we said, they've got plenty of firepower. They just need to put it all together.
An opportunity here for Brothers to strike early, but they're still making changes. Stevens working away around the back. We'll get into the right link position. There she is now. Puts the ball through the hands. Well, perfect timing. Catherine Stevens. And came straight out of the interchange box, and when she was there, when she was needed to be there, she was, and threw the final pass for Brothers, and they do strike first here in the second half.
Well, you called it, and just a little, just a slight change of direction there. And you called it, Cat Stevens. It's a lovely passage of play there for Brothers, and they managed to peg one back early in the second half.
So he drops that margin back down to 2 tries now. Storm still in front, 4-2. All feet in the ruck there from Brothers. And couldn't get away with that one, unfortunately.
No, tried to disguise that touch, but there was feet, arms and hands everywhere. Referee picked it up.
Taylor Sykes working with older sister Emma here in the middle. Just strapping on the shoulder tonight for Emma as well. No doubt a bit of a niggling rugby injury. As Taylor takes him on, switches out the back, flat-footed. Chloe Nicola couldn't reel it in. And this is where Brothers can get themselves back into the game. Off the back of points, we saw it with the Storm after they went down early in the first half. As soon as they got that point, or that try on the board, they got themselves back into the game. All of a sudden, if they can just swing the momentum a little bit, even if it's just a field possession battle, as we see Mai take them on, that's where the pressure will start to come on the Storm. But you feel like Brothers, they need to be the next to score as well. They can't continue to chase the Storm for the rest of this game.
Yeah, she got caught at half there, Beck, Lisa Mai, I should say, but that's the right idea. They're going to have to really muscle up on their ruck defence now. That's going to be the key in the second half for Brothers, just to slow down this Storm attack, because they're just getting everything they want at the moment.
Carly Nicola throws the dummy, gets herself into the eagle air and out the back.
Wow.
Away Tanamu scores the try, the 5th on the board for the Southern Storm.
Really nice here from Charlie Nicola, one of the rising stars of touch football, still 16 years of age, just digs through the line, missed touch, and just simply opens up there for Tanami to stroll over.
It was good work from Annika, sorry Doug, in the lead up as well, because Nicola was coming again. It was almost like Kath Stevens before, was coming out of the interchange area, and if Tanamu got caught in possession, she wasn't there to be in that acting half position. The play would have died right there. So it was good work from Tanamu. Not sure if she had eyes in the back of her head just to be able to jink around and hold the ball up, because as soon as Nicola got into that position, picked up from half and she went.
Perfect execution. Brothers will look to hit back now.
And Brown runs through, beautiful ball off the fingertips. It's just floated forward. It hits a bit of grass as well. Better though from Brothers. As we take a look at the replay, and it's Brown yet again. I feel like if they're able to get themselves back into the game, it might be on the back of Brittany Brown.
Yeah, that was a nice little rip from Brown. It won't be too long before one of those comes off. Just got to put it all together now. Let's see how the Storm go on this substitution set. Nice release there, Archer to Nicola.
Yeah, this is better. They forced the Storm to have to hold on to the football. As Ward now punches it through. They've got the numbers. They put the brakes on, still doing a good job to hold on to the football, but Brothers stay cool, calm and collected in defence. Happy to let the Storm throw the footy around.
Yeah, I love it when teams chance their arm on the last. You'll often see something come out of nothing. Not to be on this occasion though, but Brothers setting up through Kim Susi. Back out to Susi now. Just those last pass options on that last touch, just not coming off for Brothers right at the moment, Scott.
So let's see how the Storm come off their line. They go direct on the first and the second as well. A bit of change and variation from the Storm. Early rounds in the season, we've seen them go through their hands and come straight to their box straight away. And tonight they've been just punching forward on the first two. It's not a bad option for them. They'll finish it off in the corner. Back and forth battle over the last couple of sets from both of these two teams. And now this is the opposite. You see Brothers put the ball through the hands. First touch, they're all the way over on their sideline. Folk plays it. Bartlett plays offside and retrieving here for the Storm. Just couldn't pick it up cleanly. Lisa Mai still got the smile on her face. A mistake here from the Storm. This is the opportunity that Brothers need.
Yeah, just lost that ball in attack. The Storm just a ball down. Bella Fild's been a little bit quiet in this game, the number 18 out in this near side link. We'll look to her to step up in the second half.
So back midfield.
Sweeps.
Butler plays it. Here is Fildes. It's a nice ball out in front of Mai. Plays it and steps in. Folk outside the 7. Mai picks up. They got the numbers. Good ball to Fildes. Comes off the left foot. Equally good defence from the Storm. Now they sing it out to the left-hand side. Nice little ball back on the inside from Coyne. There's a look around for support. Charlie Nicola working with Sykes. Last touch. Nicola, right foot, left foot, no options. Late pass. Good defensive play there from Paige Folk. She'll tap it just a step shy of their 10-metre line. Fildes puts the foot down. Barker on the second touch. As Hudson has to skip across field. Does a good job. Brown back on the inside. Flat ball. Good work though. They've probably picked up about 10 metres as we see solid contact from Taylor Sykes.
Yeah, that's an interesting one too. She was off balance, but there was enough in that touch that she couldn't get that bounce out play. So they'll take it. Time becoming a bit of a factor now as we wind down to 10 minutes, 3 tries. It can be done. They want to score next, the Brothers team.
Again, solid contact, but good call. Similar, caught in an upright position. Mooney Stack plays it. Hudson from half. Little jink and runs straight into the Southern Storm defence.
Yeah, their line defence has been really good in this game, and as they get 10 more metres for not returning the ball. Their line defence has been really good in the second half so far, the Storm.
Sykes puts it out. Here's space. Walker comes across and makes the touch on Natasha Day. Just gives an opportunity for the Southern Storm to make their changes. Lay Tanami switches in Emily Ward. Tanamu scored a try here in the second half. Gets great contact coming into the 5th and final touch. Just slowed them down a peg. And Ward gets clipped on the boot.
Really good touch there to shut down that last play option. So Brothers stepping up in defence now. Really good metres too heading into their box.
Yeah, nice work from Barker. She's been great for Brothers tonight. Saw space, linked up with Walker down the left-hand side of the field.
Here comes Susie.
Stevens plays out the back to Susie, but it's a 2-on-2 battle out there on the left-hand side. They look to attack down the short side yet again. Nice ball back on the inside from Susie and a desperate touch.
Wow, what a touch.
On the bootlaces. Good footy from both teams. It was good from Brothers in the lead-up as we see one of the Southern Storm players looking a little bit ginger out there on the far side of the field. I think it's the number 34, Felicity Archer.
Yeah, that is Archer. I think she's landed awkwardly there, but she made a try-saving touch.
As we take a look at the replay, good ball out the back, so it was a good touch made there on Susie, who plays it, quick steps off the left foot, props up in the air, and almost there for them. Great defence back on the inside. Here's space, Tanamu, down the left-hand side off the field.
This is a great drive set from the Storm. Here comes Sykes now.
Ooh, wanted to feed it out the back. Final execution of the pass just wasn't there for Sykes. His Brothers nice and deep off the restart. Stevens to Hegedus. Mary Walker, nice run. Folk even better. And now they're flowing off the back of that. Bartlett, Mai picks it up cleanly. They're offside. Mai trying to get through. They're going to bring it back.
Wow.
Half court.
Thought there was a possibility of an offside player there. Determined to not be involved, to slow down that play. Referees are happy.
Russell doing the hard yards. Beautiful ball back on the inside. Probably just need to continue to punch forward there, Vandermeer. Great run out of the box from Ward. Nicola plays it. Better running coming into the last touch. Great ball on the inside. Hits the deck. Positive footy, though, from the Storm.
Yeah, Vandermeer had some space out on the wing here. That could have been another option.
Now Bartlett getting pushed back to the mark. Mai punches it forward. Both teams are probably flirting a bit, and I think you can see that's why there was a little bit of play on call there from the referees. Testing the boundaries of being onside both teams here in the second half. Ball back on the inside, nothing doing.
Yeah, it's so critical for momentum. Scott, if you can get onside and just shoot it, push up early, it just can really slow down the attack. But again, it's a really fine margin, and they're just holding off just enough now for the referee's liking. Sideline
Been
call
a little bit of something here on the sideline. I saw a reaction from the brothers player. I think Emma Sykes might be involved as she was making her way off the field. And Matt Lavery, Jordan Randall having a conversation on field.
Yeah, my first thought was the sideline call from the sideline is 7 on, but this penalty is going to be turned around and go towards brothers. No signal from the referee. You can only imagine there was some sort of foul play involved there on the side.
So brothers, just under 5.5 to go now. Sound it down by 3. Tries really what they need. Brown sweeps around the back, tries to skip on the outside. Play on is the call.
Wow.
This time they get full advantage. And is that the spark that gets them back into this game?
Really nice footwork here from Brown. She sweeps around, just picks up and just skips, stands up the defender. I think that's Jenna Rousel. Slips through the gap, clean pair of heels, and they're over. This game could get interesting now.
Yeah, see, it looked like the touch was made from Millie Neville, but yeah, definitely a couple of steps short of where Matt Lavery was calling the players back. So play on is the call. Great work from Brown. As soon as she heard that call, she knew. She just put the foot down on the accelerator. See you later. 5-3 now. The Storm off the restart. Call from the coach's box right in front of us here is you've got to run. Looking a little bit flat-footed, and they're hoping that the ball can do the work for them. And a perfect response there after scoring down the other end from Brothers. They gave no opportunities for the Southern Storm. As now Taylor Sykes hit the deck.
Another try here would be interesting.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Game on for sure. The clock is a little bit of a factor. 4 minutes left. Lisa Mai just has to put the brakes on. There was no one back on the inside to be able to support. And we're looking to get a clean play the ball here. Mai, short ball. Folk was punching through the hole. Just probably didn't have the body position there to get a clean ball away. And in another big defensive effort here, Brothers. Walker comes up to make the touch on Vandermeer. Fault on the next. They're doing a pretty good job. This is the 4th touch. Half having a scramble to get into place with Tanamu. 5th and final for them. Alay puts it out. Out of the hands there of Charlie Nicola. And good back-to-back sets in defence from Brothers. And just over 3 to go now. Mai, good meters on the first. Just gets it down on the mark. No. Put the mock on. It just looked like there was just a little stutter step coming into the play of the ball, and I thought for a second there she might have got away with it.
Called it too early there, Scott.
Oh, yeah. So Leighton Amu plays it. Charlie Nicola has been impressive as always for the Storm and always getting it done there. Just got in the outside. Brooklyn, Montea Hudson, I should say, almost created an opportunity, but Brothers hold out. A little tick in the box for them.
They're just getting caught down in their defensive end on the sets of 6 from the Storm. And Brothers, strong contact again.
Back-to-back efforts. As Hegedus gets him going forward. Susi, good clean play the ball. Schmidt this time, short ball. They thread it through.
That's
Stevens
better.
does a great job. Walker will finish it off in the corner. And Brothers, they do get the job done. 2 minutes left on the clock. They reduce the margin down to 1 try.
A lovely drive from CC to set this up. Just a simple 3-on-2 out to the wing. Walker scores to peg that difference back. They're only down 1 now, Brothers.
And Catherine Stevens yet again. She's just in the perfect position. And she'll drill that final pass. And 10 times out of 10,
90 seconds to go. Is there a twist in this game?
they have to come up with a defensive stop.
They will get one more possession. Brothers, and here it
Here
comes.
we go. Here we go. Little mistake from the Storm.
So you'd think they'd have to score in this set. They'll have 6 touches. They need to improve their field position here.
Just couldn't quite get a hand out there. Hannah Hegedus. This is an opportunity for the Storm to try and put some pressure on. Nice little pop-out ball. Back on the inside to Bartlett. She'll need to get a clean play the ball, and does. My, a danger player, will get herself into half. Looks to take off. Not many options out here on the left-hand side. Oh,
Wow.
almost getting on the outside. The cover defense comes across and makes the touch. Huge touch. Charlotte Vandermeer in the corner. Looked like they was covered for all money. Had some work to do. She gets over and gets the job done.
Could be a match-saving touch there from Charlotte Vandermeer.
Just need to hold on to the football for the full set of 6 here, the Storm. 30 seconds left on the clock. Brothers is going to get one more possession.
Here we go. Hands on the ball. 30 seconds to go. Down by 1.
Files plays it. Can they lock up the scoring at the death here, Brothers? They've been chasing for the majority of this game. Files with 10 seconds left to go. They look to attack down the short side. Files looking for offside players. They make the touch. Archer, who's made her way back on the field after picking up that little injury earlier on. Hooter's about to sound. They've got to put the ball through the hands.
Gotta be
Brown
play
out
on.
the back. It's come off the hands of the Storm. That will wrap it up. Wow, a little bit of excitement towards the back end of this game at the Southern Storm. Hold on for the victory. The final score 5-4, but a gallant effort there from Brothers to get themselves back in the game and almost lock up the scoring right at the death.
Exciting finish to that one. There was not much doing until the last couple of minutes. Brothers pegged back 2 tries late and almost locked it up. It's a highly entertaining game of women's touch.
Yeah, so the Southern Storm get their second victory on the board for the Metro Cup season. And they get themselves right back into contention for this competition. We're going to take a quick break. We've got the Men's Premier Division coming up very shortly. Southern Storm taking on the Gold Coast. That is going to be an absolute crackerjack game as well. Stay with us. More action coming your way.
This grass looks smart, and it's tough enough to handle whatever you throw at it, so it stays looking smart. Tip Tough Hybrid Bermuda, the smart grass.
You and I till the end, don't need to pretend again and again. We'll stick together, everything is alright with you by my side. We won't say goodbye, we'll stick together. I can pick you up when you're heading down. When it all just sucks, I'll be your Charlie Brown. You can make me laugh when I wanna cry. In a world of men,
Welcome back to the Metro Cup. Men's Premier action not too far away from kick-starting here at Whites Hill. Gold Coast taking on the Southern Storm. 3rd versus 4th on the ladder. Doug Mack is with me in commentary for this fixture as well. The second time that these two teams have come up against each other in the competition. They faced off in round 1 with Gold Coast getting the victory 5 tries to 4. Very close contest, and I just got a feeling it's going to be pretty similar again here tonight as we take a look at the ladder.
Yeah, plenty of experience in both of these teams. They're really going to want to lock up this win just to move up that leaderboard a little bit. Country Club, as you can see, they're way out ahead with 4 wins from 4 games. So Gold Coast and Southern Storm tonight in our men's Premier Division game will be looking to move up that leaderboard.
And we'll take a look at the team list for this evening, starting with the Southern Storm. Adam Pride coming back into the team this week after missing a couple of games with some other commitments, coached by Chris Loth. But it's a combination of players that have been pretty familiar with each other, as well as some great inclusions such as Bailey Deacon, Blaze Prendergast coming in from the Southwest Queensland system.
Yeah, that's right. And as you say, Scott, both of these teams have played against each other a lot. Quite a few Redlands players in this Southern Storm team. So they're all around that southeast Queensland area. And they all know each other pretty well, so it's going to be a pretty interesting game.
And the Gold Coast team, as you can see on your screen, led by their coach Leon Skinner and Australian Men's Open representative Peter Norman, their captain Tyler Ward as well, Australian Mixed Open representative, and just a crop of exciting young kids coming through. And this is going to be an absolute crackerjack game here tonight. Like I said, 3rd and 4th on the table, but both teams have been not that far away from chalking up victories. And the men's premier competition, any team can knock off anyone on any given day. But this is going to be a close contest, I feel, tonight. You see the ball just looked like it was almost bouncing around a little bit there. The Storm just having to put their brakes on, reset. As Prendergast now plays it outside the 7. Richards has a look up, and Norman just rockets out of the line. And might have got a little bit of wood on Dave Richards there. He's sucking in the big ones. That's one player I wouldn't want to be running into coming up out of the defensive line. Pete gives him the obligatory pat on the shoulder. Sorry about that, champ. And Richards will just take a breather out the back. He'll be trying to get it in the lungs, a bit of air back into the lungs, I'd say.
Yeah, 3 referees tonight: Zach Jenrick, Lachlan Freshwater, and Campbell Muir. Men in pink controlling things out in the middle for us.
So Ward trying to thread it through to Pete Norman there. Looking to try to get...
And they'll get 10 more metres here. Just kick that ball off the mark. Tyler Ward puts the hand up. Yep, sorry about that one.
And doing the hard yards tonight, the Gold Coast. Only 4 substitutions in their box. So a little bit light on troops. Sometimes that can just galvanise a team. They know that they're going to be up against it. It's going to take everything for the full 40 minutes from them. As we see Prendergast now put the ball through the hands early. Nice slight defence from the Coast. Felicia Frost comes up and makes the touch.
Yeah, they know they'll have to dig in tonight with just those 4 subs, Gold Coast. I'm sure the boys will rip in and put in a big effort.
Home comes off the left foot and just looked at basketball. The footy over the top to Prendergast. The play was on. Prendergast just not in position to be able to take that ball. Charlton on the second touch. And a little ball down in the play the ball. So a couple of little mistakes in the first couple of sets for the Coast. Norman again comes up screaming out of the line. Showing some intent in the first 2 touches. As Kai Tika makes back-to-back touches. Storm going nowhere here in the first 3. As Beaton gets it down. Wood plays it. And Ben Ross has the little dummy. Well, they've been a little bit untidy with ball in hand. Their defence looks solid to start this game.
Yeah, Norman defending well there. He's been a fixture of the Australian Men's Open team for quite a number of years now, Pete, and he'll just steady these troops as they get a penalty. Referee Muir just got pushed off the ball.
Yeah, Kai Tika getting a solid shot off the first touch, but he bounces straight back up to his feet. And it might have just been a little bit of frustration there from the Storm, knowing that they've had all the field possession and attacking the Gold Coast line. And come up and trump so far, or without any scores on the board as the ball is pinballing around. Hall's trying to wrap players up to stop the Storm from getting back underway. Ross down the sideline. Ooh, just getting the ball away in time. It's Pride. As his first touch links up with Jimmy DeVere. He has to come back to the mark. Out in front. The ball rolls down the hill.
Both teams just feeling each other out a little bit here, I think. There's been quite a few errors from both sides. They haven't really settled into their work yet.
Ward on the first. A little bit exposed out here on the left for the Coast. As Hall links up. Oh, and out the back. Can't hit a target. Yeah, not the greatest start to this game for the Coast. But like I said, Storm haven't been able to put them away early doors. Tahara Chase on the field now for the Storm.
Prendergast looking to set up and go from half here, working with Nick Home in the middle. Lightning leg speed.
Here is Home from half. Goes early ball. Deacon tries to take them on. Nice touch made from Chris Chung. Last touch here for the Storm. Home dances. Sends it out to the left. Nice touch.
That's got to be a penalty.
And they will get much downfield.
Didn't even try and disguise it that time.
They'll probably take every advantage they can at the moment, the Gold Coast, just to help get themselves downfield. But you just know if they can just get the possession, complete their sets, get themselves into an attacking position on the field, they can score points just like that.
Yeah, they've got plenty of tries in them, both of these sides. Here comes Norman again. This is a great drive as Ward picks up from half. Known for his long ball. But again, just nice little sliding cover defence there from the Storm. Still waiting on our first try.
As the Storm now make their way over the halfway line. Richards is back out onto the field. Ward pops out Ross and goes back to Ward. And Richards picks up. It's caught in half. And again, Storm not returning the ball back to the mark. Getting a little bit frustrated. Richards not happy with the call.
He's getting called out here for a bit of back chat, and it's a 4 sub as well.
Yeah, Ryan Ward.
Not sure what he was complaining about. That's about our third penalty for not returning the ball. As you say, a little bit of frustration creeping in.
Frost goes to Castles from half. Charlton. Tika. It's Lennox in the 7. You got Kaya in the 4. The Tika brothers tonight for the Coast. Here goes Lennox, gets away. And Ross comes back to make the touch. This is the 5th and final. Charlton hard and flat at the line. A defensive read coming in to make the touch.
Nice ball to Castles, well covered by the Storm in the end. Again, looking for that throwing the ball away penalty. Thought they would have tidied that up by now.
Veer down the sideline.
That's a great run. Nick Home in the 6.
Pride to Pendergast. He comes back to Adam Pride. Home from half. Goes short. Oh, Castles picks it off. Running in reverse. Has to put it back and drive. And get them going forward. 0 touch for them. Pendergast mowing down Kaya Castles. They start their set on their own 10-metre line. Oh, they've turned the ball over. A little bit frustrated. The Gold Coast, it almost felt like that was their set just to try and get themselves downfield. And Marcus Home. In 22. Deacon skipping away. Prendergast plays it. As Nick Home throws a beautiful ball. Oh, Deacon almost got it done there. Took a juggle, and at the same time then tried to flick it out.
It was on there for sure for the Storm. Almost had opening points on the board. Just couldn't time that final pass. Just didn't have the strength just to get it over the top. Kaya Castles now grits the teeth.
Charlton down. Lennox picks it up. Short ball and punching through. Chris Chung. Wow.
Well, the space just opened up there and the defenders were just looking at each other as we get a quick look at that replay. Yeah, just straight open.
Yeah, they had the numbers 3-on-2. Marcus Hone just caught flat-footed in no man's land out here on the right.
I think they got their numbers mixed up possibly. That link was just pushing out too hard, but it's in the books now. Gold Coast go up. Put our first try on the board in tonight's men's premier game.
Ross switches in chase. Beaton takes on the line. And try scorer Chung now doing back-to-back efforts in defence. Plugging up the middle here for the Coast. Early ball, Ward, and just off the fingertips of Chase. And a little bit of space out there on the left. Storm just can't finish it off at the moment to get their first points. As the Coast go right side. Just running into each other on that occasion. Collins sends it back infield. It's working with Jacob Hall out there on the right. Charlton goes forward. Not much doing here for the Coast. Looking for numbers to try and get them going forward. Ward does that for them now. As Kaya, left foot, gets away from Ward. Looks to take them on. Oh, it was there for him. Wow. Again, not much doing on the back end of the set. It was just the footwork and the speed here of Kaya take it. Oh, that was there for Jacob.
Yeah, really nice sequence there from Kaya Tika. He's looked dangerous. Number 4 for the Gold Coast every time he gets his hands on that ball. Missed opportunity, but they're looking dangerous.
Pride gets him going forward. DeVere gets it down. Clean pick up from Hone. Just throws it, hoping and he can hit a target. There's been another contact. Solid contact off the board. Collins and Adam Pride coming together. Pride looking a little ginger. He's all good. He'll take a breather.
Yeah, nothing sinister in that one. Just a collision of bodies. Just waiting for Pride to go off the field and get some attention. Just the ball down.
Coach restart on their 7-metre line. Oh, and just off the fingertips. Lennox Tika just might have had a little bit of a look up at the defensive line. Turns the ball over on the second touch. Hone holds the ball up.
Been pretty active in this first half, Newcombe. He's been their key playmaker in the middle.
Yeah, plenty of touches. Looking full of energy tonight. They go away from the sweeper. Here he is into the in-goal area. Casual as you like. Looking for someone and does find Ryan Ward eventually. It was almost as easy as you like there for Nick Home. Just casually strolls into the in-goal area.
Well, was that man we mentioned, Nick Home. He didn't lose his head here. Just waited for those players to hold off and released. Finds his winger. That was the answer they needed, the Storm.
There you go. Home in the in-goal. Ball out in one hand. Who wants it? Who wants it? Good work, Ryan Ward, to get himself into space and scoring the first try for the Storm. Locked up now, 1 try piece. They needed that.
Yeah, just freed himself up and lost his man without infringing. Nicely done from the Storm.
A little bit flat here in the middle of the field. The Coast. Castles pops in. Charlton goes short to Chung. This time, the Storm defence was there to make the touch. Just going forward out of the hands. Beaten taps. Restart. Marcus Home. Some foot, loose ball. Just slipped out of the fingertips there of Blaze Prendergast. Tahara Chase. Yeah, the ball just take a little bit of a bobble. Good work from Chris Chung. He's been everywhere as well for the Coast. Scored the try. He's had some big defensive efforts as well. Got his body into a good position there to make the touch and force a mistake from the Storm.
Yeah, he takes a well-earned breather now. As the Gold Coast get their attacking pod of Tyler Ward and Pete Norman, will work through the middle here. Oh, just drops it cold there, Tyler Ward.
Yeah, I think they were happy just to turn the ball over. Hall just couldn't quite get it down. Coming into the last touch, took all the sting out of their set. Pride's back out onto the field. Now his head's over and a little bobble in the play the ball as he throws his head back to see what the call was. Kevin Muir says ball down.
Referees have been good tonight, haven't missed a trick so far. Some confusion as to the restart, just a roll ball.
Norman gets them going forward. They just take 3 settling touches as they march their way towards the 7-metre line, sweeping around the back. Lennox comes off the left foot. Cover defence back on the inside from Jimmy DeVere. Hall left to right, and Wood couldn't take it cleanly. There was Southern Storm jumpers in front of him to make the touch if need be. Marcus Home, good metres over the halfway line. Beaten. It's a clean play the ball as well. As Deacon flows around the back. Good contact. They're coming into the last. Norman again, strong in defence. Has completely just stopped all flow and momentum. Again, great experience. Norman made a great touch on the young gun, Bailey Deacon.
Yeah, Bailey Deacon and Blaze Prendergast, the Toowoomba connection, played a lot of touch together in juniors, these two young fellas.
A return serve there, though. In the Storm, I think Deacon might have been involved in that. Just forcing the Gold Coast just to get tangled up in the ruck. Forces the mistake.
Yeah, Felicie Frost there looking to get bailed out by a penalty, not to be on this occasion.
It's always a little bit of a cat and mouse game, isn't it? When you get one of those solid shots and the ball turns over when you're in possession, it's almost a game of tennis. Next set, as we see now the ball spilling off the hands of Kaya Castles. Benny Ross punching through from half.
Yeah, if the referee's feeling generous, they'll say, no, just pick it up and roll it again. And if not, it'll be a turnover. So they'll get 6 more now, the Storm.
Ross, early ball. Oh, Castles comes up out of the line.
Great read from Castles.
Clutching at the hand.
He's done
Is
himself an
Kaya.
injury.
We'll keep an eye on that as Pride plays it on the 7. Richards back on the inside. It was almost there for Ross. And it was signalled that was ball down as well.
Yeah.
Take a look at the replay. Sweep around the back.
Ooh, space opened up. I think that inside defender had him covered.
Straight and direct on the first couple here for the Coast. This Hall gets him over the halfway line. Norman straight and hard into the line. Can't get it down cleanly. Fingers pointed. There might be a get square coming up.
Ball down. Pretty good call too. No control really going into that touch, Pete Norman. A little bit grindy through the midfield. Up early in defence again, Norman.
Veer back on the inside toward Chase. Picks it up, has time to work with. Frost comes up and makes the touch on Marcus Home.
Another good read there from Frost as Gold Coast will have to work the length of the field here to get into attacking position.
It's Tika trying to pick up any advantage he can, ball in hand. So desperate for meters at the moment. Charlton takes it right to the defensive line. Storm restart as they go through the middle on the first touch. Home. Now DeVere over the halfway line. Beaten, and the referees are picked up. Might be an interchange infringement. Let's see Lachlan Freshwater over the far side, communicating with the Southern Storm players.
Yep, 7 on penalty. Just one of those little 1%ers. It's pretty easy to get wrong though. Just that timing of that last player coming onto the field. Sweeping around. It's Gold Coast now, they'll take it.
Norman Kaitika working together. Oh, picked off. And home with absolutely nobody at home for the Gold Coast. Will stretch away. Goes against the grain. We'll put it under the post as well. And against a run of play, the Southern Storm have taken the lead for the first time in the match. They go up by 1-2-1.
Yeah, he's pretty filthy with himself here, Pete Norman, near home, like a thief in the night, just up high in that length channel. Picks off that ball and streaks away. 2-1 now. Southern Storm, as you say, Scott, against the run and play. Gold Coast will want to strike back here.
Oh, Ward had Felici Frost open on his left-hand side. He had his body turned back in midfield. It was early in the touch count though, so still plenty of opportunity for them. Almost caught napping in the Southern Storm defence. Coming into the back end of their set now. Fifth and final touch as Hall has a look up, just goes casually left to right, back on the inside. Good scramble defence coming across to make the touch.
Yeah, wingers for both sides are making some pretty good defensive reads. Hasn't been anybody left alone out on that wing area. So far, I think the attack's going to have to come back through the middle.
Pride throws a nice ball off the hip to Beaton, and the Storm are going to get a penalty. 30 seconds until the halftime break. Good opportunity here for the Storm. Can they strike? Right before the hooter. Just push that margin up to 2 tries. In tight contest here between the Gold Coast and Southern Storm in this one. Home over the top to Prendergast. Referees have a look. They're going to point to the spot. And the Storm, they do get the job done. Right before halftime, you'll hear the hooter sound in the background. Nick Home, he's everywhere tonight for the Storm.
Right on half-time as well. They didn't need that, the Gold Coast. As we look to the replay now, just a nice little looping ball over the top. Question on the pass. Prendergast, Johnny on the spot, and they go up 3-1, the Southern Storm over the Gold Coast.
Yeah, pretty tight contest between these two teams. And to start this contest, Southern Storm scoring right before halftime to push the margin out to 2. We'll come back. We'll take a quick break ourselves and be back with the second 20 minutes here in round 5 of the Men's Premier Division at the Metro Cup. Current halftime score, Southern Storm 3 over the Gold Coast 1.
This grass looks smart, and it's tough enough to handle whatever you throw at it, so it stays looking smart. Tip Tough Hybrid Bermuda, the smart grass.
You and I till the end, don't need to pretend again and again. We'll stick together, everything is alright with you by my side. We won't say goodbye, we'll stick together. I can pick you up when you're heading down. When it all just sucks, I'll be your Charlie Brown. You can make me laugh when I wanna cry. In a world gone mad, we're on an all-time high. And it wouldn't be the same without you. We have yet so many stupid things to do. You're the only thing I'm holding on to. Anywhere and anything, I'll be with you. And I till the end, don't need to pretend again and again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it wouldn't be the same without you. We have yet so many stupid things to get to. You're the only thing I'm holding on to. Anywhere and anything, stick together.
Welcome back to the Metro Cup. And we're not too far from getting the second half underway here. In round 5 of the Men's Premier Division, Southern Storm in front, 3 tries to 1 over the Gold Coast, and it was a pretty topsy-turvy first 20 minutes from both teams. Took a little while for them to find their groove and get themselves into the game. The Gold Coast scoring first, but the Southern Storm finishing off the back end of that first half in good fashion, particularly with that try right on the halftime hooter.
3-1 to the Storm. They didn't need that heading into halftime. And the Gold Coast, just wondering how much it's going to be a factor. They've only got the 4 subs, as we mentioned in that first half. They're looking a little bit gassed here in the box. They're just going to need to step up in this second half and peg back those tries.
Yeah, for Coach Chris Loth on the far side of the field, and just be looking to continue on from where they finished off there in the first half. You can see the Gold Coast making their way out onto the field. Southern Storm on the far side. They'll take their time to get their last minute instructions from their coach. And they're pretty desperate for a win. The Southern Storm, they haven't been able to chalk up their first so far. Both teams had the bye last week, and Southern Storm chalking up the 1 draw. They've had 2 losses to their name, just the 1 win for the Gold Coast and 2 losses. So it's a pretty important fixture for both these 2 teams.
Yeah, and a couple of wins and you can move straight up to that leaderboard. Only 4 teams in the Men's Premier Division game. So let's see how they go. Not too far away from a second half start here.
Colts and Rebels having a bye this week, and what a start to the season it's been from the Colts, sitting 4-0 on the top of the table, and yeah, they just look to continue on as we hit the midpoint in the competition.
Colts are rolling along nicely at the top of the leaderboard. Probably helped by one of their recruits, a young fella named Dylan Hennessy,
He's pretty good.
up and coming player.
And for the Rebels, though, Liam Bauer was in commentary last week, injured at the moment, looking to make his way back into Division 1, coming back from a knee injury. But they're quietly confident. Like I said, 4 teams in the Premier competition. If you can just start to string a bunch of wins towards the back end of the competition, you're going to put yourself into a good position come finals time. But they've still got quite a few players to make their way back in, the Rebels, and Bauer being one of them. So they're sitting comfortably and quite confidently in second position as well. And it's going to be a cracking finish to the competition. Plenty of football to come. And this year's Metro Cup. It's a touch footy on the calendar coming up as well. The National Youth Championships on the Sunshine Coast. Under 18s, 16s, 14s, under 12s as well in the Gold Coast. Perfect start here in the second half. And we saw the Storm score right before the halftime hooter. Well, the Gold Coast, they've put one on straight away out of the break.
This is nice from the Gold Coast. Pete Norman delivers that pass. Charlton had to reach back and grab it, but he's just snuck through that gap. Perfect start for the Gold Coast in the second half.
Back to 3-2. Yeah, just touching on National Youth Championships coming up. Queensland All Schools as well. Prendergast through the hands. Richards gets on the outside. No touch made from Hall. Well, all of a sudden, is this what it is to open this game up? It was a really tight contest for the majority of the first 20 minutes. And all of a sudden, here in the second half, 1 possession each for each team. And they both come up with tries.
Yeah, bang, bang in the second half. Prendergast just holds that ball up, and the link defender just in too tight. Puts his hands up, didn't make the touch, so here we go.
4-2. Positive response from the Southern Storm. Chung and Castles, Ward. Ball out the back to
That's
Tika.
nice.
And Lennox. The Gold Coast scored their second try here in the second half. Second possession for them. 2 tries.
Well, it's all happening in this second half so far. Tyler Ward, known for his passing game, just rips that straight into the space. Tika happily accepts it, strolls over. This is nice from the Gold Coast. Look at that ball. Great vision, heads up footy.
Yeah, there's a nice line run from Lennox as well. Just got on the outside shoulder of the defender. Beaten now, just looping ball over the top. Oh! Well, what are we seeing? Where was this in the first 20 minutes? Unbelievable stuff. The Storm said, whatever you can do, we can do better. Great finish from Williams in the corner, coming off the right foot.
What's going on? It's just try for try. Stands up his defender in the middle.
It looked like Frost was there, wasn't it?
Yeah, oh, just lost his footing, covered for all money. And then there's space.
If anything, it looked like there wasn't enough sauce on the ball, and that probably ended up helping Williams in the end because he was watching the footy the whole time, whereas Foster was watching the player, and he just actually had to come off the right foot to get to where the ball was. There's enough for the Storm now. The Gold Coast have come back and scored again. This is unbelievable.
It's a scoring explosion in the second half.
We're here at Whites Hill. We're at the US Open Tennis Championships at the moment. It's just bang, bang, back and forth between these two teams. 3 tries for the Coast.
Gold Coast here over again. Ward goes down. Norman off the deck, nice and low. No touch claimed. Well, if they don't score on this set, the Storm, I'll be very disappointed.
Well, they might as well just walk off and call the game, wave the white flag. We've got to continue on the trend. Tries galore here to start the second half. Home. It was almost there for him. Jimmy DeVere was punching through the hole. He threw the head back. It was on. They do get the penalty. Gold Coast not moving forward off their line. So still a chance.
I'm confused. Nobody scored in that set.
I'll give the Southern Storm a second chance to be able to do it.
Home and Pride, yep.
Oh, Pride takes him on off the left foot. They just get there in the end. And I think it might be Jai Charlton, is it? He just took a little bit of it might have been boot on boot.
Yeah, Charlton in the number 9. Castles, number 5, clutching at his neck as well.
And they can ill afford to have players go down here. The Gold Coast, like we said, only 4 in the box. Charlton, the way he's moving at the moment, I dare say he might be done for the evening. He's going to take a massive effort. Oh, Richards, he skip around. Oh, there's finger pointing. Hall gets the touch made. And Kai Castles isn't moving all that freely as well. We'll keep an eye on him. There's DeVere. Hone gets on the outside of Tyler Ward. Yes.
Wow.
It continues.
When it rains, it pours. And for the Storm here, they took full advantage. Tyler Ward, I think he's offside. Just got wrong-footed there. Didn't get over to make the touch.
Hone getting the ball on the try line, and you can see it did spew forward out of his hands. Taking a bit of the chalk along the way. There has to be points in this set. Ward goes out and deep. Of course, it was never in doubt. He was always going to score that try, Tyler Ward. Well, this is just unbelievable. I don't think I've seen this too often in a game of touch footy. The way that the second half has started, there has not been a try scored yet so far.
This is really nice from Ward. Look at him. Just gets that ball down on the ground, slides it across the line. Perfectly legal in the game of touch. And the try fest continues.
Beaten. Oh, solid contact from Chung coming up out of the line. Looping ball over the top and flying through the air. And for the first time,
forward pass.
We've seen one of these two teams not score a try off the restart. Wow. Take a breather.
Yeah, just confirm that score for our viewers. 6 tries to 5 now, the Southern Storm over the Gold Coast. There's your man Chung.
He's had a great game.
Doing the hard yards up the middle.
Plenty of minutes as well, which is what you need when you're light on troops. Someone just to put the hard yards in. He's definitely doing that tonight, Chung. Oh, they skipped over the top of him. Now he's pulled up a little bit ginger as well. He's clutching possibly his shoulder. He'll head back. He's taken a deflection of one of the Southern Storm players, so they've got a repeat set.
Yeah, he'll have to stay out there. They've got to dig deep here and grit their teeth, the Gold Coast. Not too many fresh bodies.
And Beaton getting involved in the touch. It was a collision of bodies there with Kaya and Nathan Beaton. Once he was able to pop away there, Kaya, he thought he was half a chance to take him on down the short side.
Yeah, he's asking the question, but that ball's rolled outside the 7, which means that the defenders don't have to get to the line to make that touch.
Ooh, just overrunning. They had Sweeper coming around the back, and Jacob Hall. Chung was doing the same thing from the right link position. Again, Hall and Chung both scrambling for the footy. They get themselves reset now as Hall threads a beautiful ball. Well, he's got one of the best left to rights getting around, Jacob Hall, and he put that one on the money. And Kaitika goes over for another try.
This is really nice from the Gold Coast. Look at that. Link defender just shuts in. Space opens up. And that's going to lock us up now in a men's Premier Division game. 6 tries all. Highly entertaining touch football here from both sides.
Richards just couldn't get that down cleanly. It's coming a penalty. On the coast, coming the side. It almost looked like he'd overrun it, but it must have been the contact that forced that. And the penalty ensuing here to the Southern Storm. Back to back now in the 7.
Bit of interference in the touch, and now a not moving forward penalty. So we'll have to be careful here, the Gold Coast. The third penalty, you'll see one defender excluded for a set. Got to get up and make this touch now.
Hone dancing around, pointing the finger, looking to try and get a penalty. Takes him on. Looked like Lennox might have been short of the line. And Charlton makes the touch back on the inside. Good to see Jai back out on the field. Looked like his night might have been done after copying that knock to the ankle a little bit earlier on. He seems to be moving somewhat freely.
Yeah, he doesn't want to miss out on any of these tries up for grabs. A little bit of finger pointing going on out there. So far the Gold Coast are holding up in this set with their touches.
Richards looking a little bit ginger as well as he puts his hand up to get a replacement player out onto the field. Ross back midfield, gets the ball back. Ward plays it, shy the 7, beaten, gets a nice pick up out in front of Williams. And it's forward out of the hands.
Forward pass called there, assisted by the sideline referee, Zach Jenrick. Lachlan Freshwater points to the spot. Gold Coast will get their box set underway here.
Charlton on the second touch. Norman will follow suit. Good meters. Gets him over the halfway line. Castles coming into the last touch. Kaya plays it. Ward, short ball to Chung, punching through the hole yet again. Good option there from the coast. Good set for them as well. Beaton gets them going forward. Nice little ball off the hip from Ward. Or to Ward, I should say. Tahara Chase rolls forward. Pride outside the 7. Chase into the in-goal area. And good cover defence again from Chung. Wood on the first touch. Kaitika. Williams comes up out of the line and makes a touch on Chris Chung. Haven't got the flow in this set that they did in the previous, the Gold Coast. Charlton across, no half in place. Hall has to scramble and he'll send that over into row 10.
Lucky not to get a penalty there. That looked pretty deliberate to me. But that all came off that really nice touch there from Richards. Just slowed them down the Gold Coast. And from that point on, there was nothing doing that attacking set.
De Vere to Pride. His Hone casually rolls forward.
Deegan and Prendergast in the middle.
Here they go. Good touch. Prendergast tries to put the footwork on.
It's better from the Gold Coast. Nicely defended on that occasion. Shut down 2 of the better attacking players in this Storm side. It's Pete Norman grits the teeth. Good meters here. Norman just gets that touch. Referee Campbell Muir just explaining to Wes Collins the 7-metre rule to get onside. That defender was determined to be onside on that occasion, as Castles now. And your man Chung once again involved in the action.
Oh, Ward just couldn't quite get that one away.
Late pass, they all knew it too.
Quick tap from home, gets a shot. Hit in the back. And Tika.
Not too much in that one, just a penalty for offside.
So tap on the halfway line here for the Storm.
Nick Home, danger man from the first half, looking to get involved. Got to make a touch here, the Gold Coast.
Prendergast goes to windmill dummy, steps in field, left foot, tries to jink in between defenders. The penalty comes now for them. He's going to take a big defensive set here for the Coast. Starting to get hands on hips. Boys are sucking in the big ones in their interchange area at the moment.
I think they were almost happy to take that penalty, just a breather on the line, but they won't want that second one. Got to get up and make the touch. So they need to move forward with positive intent to make a touch at reasonable pace, as outlined in the 8th edition rules.
Oh, here we go. Nick Home, right foot. They just couldn't hold on any longer, the Gold Coast. Way to possession in the attacking zone of the field. It's just too much for them to handle.
Yeah, 2 penalties on their line. Tyler Ward makes that touch, and he's just going to be short of the line here. Just looking a little bit tired. Maybe those lack of substitutions catching up now with the Gold Coast.
So puts the Storm back out by 1. 7 tries to 6. And it's been an exciting second half here between these two teams. Tries galore. Gold Coast turning the ball back over after the restart, I should say. And round 6 action coming up next week. Men's Premier from 7:15 will be the UQ Rebels taking on the Southern Storm. And it'll be another Southern Storm double Women's Premier to follow. They'll be taking on the Coast after that fixture.
So there's your next Friday night sorted, viewers, but this game's not over yet. Gold Coast are only down 1 here with plenty of time on the clock.
Lennox links up with Hall. They had the 3-on-2. They come back in field. Still with touches to work with. Charlton goes short. Out in front of Hall. Tips away in front of Norman. Down the right-hand side of the field they go. Deacon having a stretch back. They pull the footy in. De Vere through the middle. Beaton scoops it with the right hand. Switches it in underneath. Richards, he's made a recovery to get himself back onto the field. Play on still is the call as he tries to flick it around the back.
Wow.
That has been held on to Nick Home. Wow. Get him in the Australian cricket team in the slips quarter, and that is amazing catch. But what about the ball from Dave Richards as well? So Norman's offside here. Play on's the call. Runs out of room, flirts with the in-goal area, just throws it and home. Thanks for coming.
Gee, that's Harlem Globetrotter stuff. I think Pete Norman thought he was onside to make that touch. Play on. You've got to keep going till you hear that whistle. And that was a lovely passage of play from the Storm. Significant margin of 2 tries now.
Yes, that was an important one for them. As exciting as it was to get them up by 2. Collins trying to come off on the right foot. The Storm straight back onto the footy. Pride, contact from Tyler Ward. What a performance tonight from this man with the ball in hand. Nick Home, it's definitely been the Southern Storm's best player out in front. Prendergast looked like it might have come out of the hands forward. Referees are going to agree.
We were right in line with that one. All 3 referees picked that up straight away. Plenty of time left, just under 4 minutes. Can easily peg back 2 tries in that time. The Gold Coast now, Tyler Ward.
Here's Charlton. It's a nice clean play, the ball down. Perfect position there for Ward, and almost picked off Collins. He's checking with the referees. It looks like they were happy. That it definitely came out of the hands backwards. Beautiful ball from Tyler Ward. Had work to do. He was just trying to evade the defender at the same time as getting the ball down, which is an amazing skill that our wingers can do. Tough one for him to take. Half a chance there for the Coast. Oh, full of running now. The Southern Storm and earn themselves a penalty. So they're smelling blood in the water. Now the Southern Storm, they're on the ropes. The Gold Coast, I mean, so gallant for the majority of this game. As Richards, who's also had a very strong performance tonight for the Southern Storm. Sweeping around the back, ball in hand. Links up out the back of Robbie Williams. Gold Coast with work to do. Onyx Tika on the second. A bit more intent in this set. And the boys from the coast. Chung goes away from Tika, takes him on himself. Chris Chung tries to get on the outside.
Almost took the space there, Chung.
Tara Chase makes the touch. This is the final touch for the Gold Coast. Skyer wants to link up out the back. Back to Chunk. Ball hits the deck. Touch and pass signalled by Zach Jenrick. Ross. It's the ball down. Home makes his way back out onto the field. DeVere has a look. Links up with Prendergast. Does a good job to get on the outside. Shoto Chunk. Oh, lucky there. Home again, casually coming into the defensive line. Norman getting his hands on the ball. Just over a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, looking to seal it there, the Storm. They've probably done enough now, up by 2 tries, as long as they hang on to it in this set.
Here's Home again. Both Home brothers linking up together.
Late pass from the referee.
A little incorrect play the ball.
Ball down's the call. I think it's a bit academic now. A few complaints coming from the Gold Coast substitution box. A bit of frustration. It's Prendergast in the middle. They'll just look to reset now through that key playmaker, Nick Holm. Prendergast will receive from half. Oh, wow.
Slice through yet again.
Look at that from Nick Holm.
I'll give him the 3 Dally M points tonight. The young fella, he's been super impressive. And that's just the icing on the cake for the Storm.
Yeah, that'll lock it up. This is really nice from Nick Holm. You could just see Prendergast just lurking there, waiting in anticipation of that pass. Slices through the line, isolates his man. Straight across the line as that final siren goes in the background.
Well, a highly entertaining second half with tries galore in this men's premier match for the Southern Storm. They do hold on at the end of the day. They went into the halftime break 3-1 up, and after fighting off a comeback from the Gold Coast, they take the victory. The final score at 9 tries to 6. A great men's premier fixture as predicted between these two teams. Well, that wraps up round 5 here from the Metro Cup. We hope you enjoyed the coverage on KO Sports and Sky Sports in New Zealand. Until next week, it's Scott McAllister and Doug Mackey signing out.
This grass looks smart, and it's tough enough to handle whatever you throw at it, so it stays looking smart. Tiff Tough Hybrid Bermuda, the smart grass.